Hello and welcome or welcome back. I'm Tanya and I'm really excited because 2025 is the year that I do my first Pan That Palette project. Pan That Palette was started by Amber F, who is an awesome project panner, and I will leave Amber's channel linked in the description. It's a project that I've enjoyed watching for many years, but I've not been confident enough to join in until now. Now I have already filmed an introduction for this project, but I've been really unwell this month. So rather than edit it and upload it late, I've decided to combine the introduction and the first update. So which palette have I chosen? I have picked my NARS Narsissist palette, and I've chosen this for a couple of reasons. The first one being that the packaging has broken. My second reason for choosing to work on this palette in particular is that the shadows are not particularly pigmented, which is why I haven't really been reaching for it. My favourite eyeshadows are the ones that are buttery soft, easy to blend, and much more pigmented, so that they show through from behind my dark glasses. But I've chosen this palette because I feel like the sheerer shades will be great for everyday on the school run looks, where I want to look put together but not feel like I've done anything fancy with my makeup. Because they're less pigmented, these shadows are easier to apply in the mornings when I'm bleary-eyed and still waking up. My aim is to use this palette approximately 20 times each month, with flexibility for if I'm not well or if we've got a school holiday. I've made myself a page for tracking uses in my bullet journal, which feels super satisfying. My first goal will be to hit pan on this cream shade, which I use every time I do my makeup as a base on my lid, crease and brow bone. This gives a nice base for other shadows and makes it easier to blend. So here's where we were at the beginning of 2025 with this palette, and here's what the palette looks like after 1 month's use. I tend to use the light colours on my lid, the mid to dark shades in my crease and the darkest shades as eyeliner, just on the outer corner of my eye to give a little bit of definition. With my yellow undertones, I tend to lean towards warmer shades. I've been trying to use the cooler tones in this palette while we're in winter because I know that I won't be reaching for them in summer and autumn. So if I'm going to make progress on them, I need to focus on them now. From the top left of the palette, I've used the light pink 3 times, the beige 6 times, the mid brown twice, the matte neutral brown once, and the dark brown 3 times. On the middle row, I've used the cream shade 11 times, and I'm starting to see a dip in the shadow. I've used the warm pink once, the cool taupe 6 times, the dark purple once. I haven't used the shimmery dark brown shade at all. For the bottom row, I've used the shimmery white shade 7 times, the light grey once. I haven't used the mid blue grey shade at all, or the dark grey shade, but I have used the black 8 times. I don't expect to finish up this entire eyeshadow palette, but I would like to make a good dent in it. And I've decided that alongside panning a palette, I'm going to do an eyeshadow bank. The eyeshadow bank was an idea started by Laura Force, who I'll leave linked in the description. Laura's eyeshadow bank works by earning points for completing certain things, like a certain number of uses on eyeshadow, hitting pan, and you can build up points that you can then use to spend on new eyeshadow. I am going much more literal with my eyeshadow bank. If I use up 1 gram's worth of eyeshadow, I can buy 1 gram's worth of eyeshadow. For example, the NARS Narsissist palette has 15 eyeshadows. Each of them have 1 gram's worth of product. If I were to finish this entire eyeshadow palette, I could buy 15 grams worth of eyeshadow, with the caveat that it has to fit a gap in what I already own, because I don't need more of the same thing. I'm going to be mindful of what I already have and not fall into the trap of buying a new eyeshadow only to find out when I get home that I have the same or almost the same thing just from a different brand. Part of the reason that I'm starting an eyeshadow bank is that I have a special birthday in the not too distant future, and for that special birthday we may be going on a special trip. And it would be really nice to be able to treat myself to a travel eyeshadow palette for that trip, because I've noticed that my brain makes connections with makeup in a similar way that perfumes can bring back happy memories and help me feel safe. My wedding makeup, and particularly my eyeshadow, helps me feel pretty and confident whenever I wear it. So I'd like the option to buy a travel-friendly palette for the trip without just adding more stuff to what I already own, because too much choice can feel overwhelming for me. I'm really excited to see how much of the NARS Narsissist palette I can use up in a year. Thank you so much for watching and being on this journey with me. I really appreciate each and every one of you being here. I'd love to know what you're working on using up this year, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.